fabled heat, where magic meets desire. Subscribe to ignite the fantasy.
The forest pulsed with the languid heat of summer, a riot of green and gold that stretched endlessly before me. Sunlight filtered through the canopy above, dappling the path in shifting patterns of light and shadow. A gentle stream, silvered with sunlight, followed the well-worn path towards the capital, its murmur a soothing counterpoint to the frantic beat of my own heart. Butterflies, impossibly vibrant in their reds and blues and yellows, danced in the air, their wings brushing against the leaves like whispered secrets. It was idyllic and utterly infuriating, all this beauty, all this naturalness. It mocked my carefully curated existence, my silken sheets and spice-infused baths. It reminded me of everything I loathed about being a princess, the expectation of appreciation, the constant performance of serenity. I thought about the countless hours I spent perfecting my smile, my posture, my every move, all for the sake of appearances. The weight of it all was crushing at times, and being surrounded by nature's splendor only made me feel more trapped. Apple, my perpetually disgruntled steed, understood perfectly. He wasn't one for sunsets and songbirds. He was a horse of discerning tastes, primarily focused on the timely delivery of carrots, which naturally was lacking. Unlike the mysteriously redirected crates that somehow always found their way to his stall, here in the wilderness there were only blackcurrants and wildflowers. He paused at every opportunity, testing the foliage, a connoisseur of the mundane. I suspected he wasn't actually tasting anything, just putting on a show for the other horses, regaling them with tales of my supposed heroism, tales I actively discouraged. The less attention drawn to my adventures, the better. As we walked, the scent of blooming flowers and fresh earth filled my nostrils, and I couldn't help but feel a pang of longing. I had always been drawn to the unknown, the unexplored, and being confined to the castle had only intensified that desire. Coppelia, however, wasn't interested in the scenery or equine gossip. She was experiencing a full-blown existential crisis, her porcelain face frozen in a rictus of shock. Having tasted the decadent delights of my temporary relocation, disposable pillows, endless spoons, decorative napkins, she was reeling from the harsh realities of the outside world. Her turquoise eyes, usually bright with clockwork precision, were fixed on me. Amazing, she finally breathed, her voice a delicate chime. When did you replace the princess? I raised a hand to stifle a laugh. Excuse me, you're that doppel. I trailed off, intrigued by her words. What did she mean? Did she think I was an imposter, a fake princess? The thought sent a shiver down my spine. Coppelia, what are you talking about? I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. You're not. You, she stammered, her eyes wide with confusion. You're different, you're wild. I felt a surge of defensiveness, but it was quickly replaced by a sense of curiosity. What did she see in me that I didn't? I'm still the same person, Coppelia, I said, trying to reassure her. I just appreciate the simple things in life, that's all. But as I spoke, I realized that it wasn't entirely true. I had changed, subtly, imperceptibly, but changed nonetheless. The experience of being in the wilderness, of being free from the constraints of the castle, had awakened something within me, a sense of wonder, of awe, of possibility. As we continued on our journey, the sun began to set, casting a warm orange glow over the landscape. The air grew cooler, filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers, and I felt my heart swell with emotion. It was as if I had been living in a dream that was slowly fading away, revealing a new reality, one that was full of beauty and wonder. Coppelia, look, I said, pointing to a nearby meadow filled with wildflowers of every color. Isn't it beautiful? Coppelia's gaze followed mine, and for a moment she forgot about her existential crisis. It's breathtaking, she breathed, her voice filled with wonder. And in that moment I knew that I had made the right decision, leaving the castle behind, embracing the unknown. It was a risk, a leap of faith, but it was one that I was willing to take. As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, we made camp, the sound of crickets and the rustling of leaves lulling us into a peaceful slumber. And I knew that tomorrow we would face a new day, full of new challenges, new wonders, and new possibilities. The thought sent a shiver of excitement down my spine, and I drifted off to sleep, a smile on my face, my heart full of hope.